Honestly, this one has taken far too long. I'm excited to announce a new feature in Zuplo that we probably should have had as a standalone policy some time ago. It's been included in our monetization policy and our monetization features, but what if you wanted to use this feature without using monetization? And that is quotas. Quotas are like rate limits in APIs, but they tend to be longer lasting. So a rate limit might be for a few seconds or sub-second. Quotas might be for a month, for a week, hour, day, and need to be persistent in terms of they need to be stored safely in a database. Lots of reasons why you might want to use quotas, often in alignment with monetization. We wanted a crazy easy to use policy. Let's go and create a new project right now called Quota Demo. And in just a few seconds, I'll be able to show you a demo in our new gateway. As with everything in Zuplo, we've made it very programmable. So you can actually write dynamic quotas that change based on every request, so that you can have a different quota for customer A versus customer B based on changing timeframes. It's very, very flexible. You can also quota not just on request, but on bananas or oranges or curly braces or anything you can imagine. Of course, we've made it very flexible. So let's take a look in a demo. So I'm going to create a new route in here, and we're just going to call this hello world. And we'll just use the echo endpoint on Zuplo.io here. So all that does is echo back the request that I sent to it. So let's save that. Make sure that it's working. There you go, it's ready for test. Cool, I'm getting my echo endpoint back. Now what we're gonna do is add our first quota. So we come in here, we create a quota policy. We set the number of requests. Remember, we don't have to use requests. We're going to do a monthly policy right now. We're going to quota by user. I haven't set up any authentication in this particular demo, so the user will be the anonymous user. In this case, I haven't enforced authentication, then that will work. And notice that we're only going to apply the quota on successful status codes. That is 200 through 399. You can set a comma delimited set of status codes you want quoting to work on. You might want to be really specific if you know exactly what the response is going to be. For example, it might be a 200 or a 201. Let's apply that now, and let's save the change. And in under 5 seconds, typically, I'll be able to test that, and we'll see quotas working in anger. So let's take a look. Here we go. 5373 milliseconds ready. And I get one request, and I go for two, and I get 429, too many requests. And it tells me that the quota was exceeded for meters requests. Cool. We just deployed quotas to an API in real time. Now let's do some counting. So actually we're going to edit this quota, and we're going to add another quota here called curly braces. And we're going to allow 200 of those. Actually, let's do 250. And let's actually increase the number of requests. There's a lot of curly braces in these responses, so we're not going to get to 100 requests. So we won't be blocked on request anymore. So I'm going to click OK. And then what we're going to do is add a new outbound policy that's going to count the curly braces. So we're going to call that count curlies. And this is a pretty unusual way to build somebody or to do quotas. It's just a demo to show you could use anything you could imagine. And what we're going to do here is now clone the response. We have to do that if we're going to read the stream. Then we're going to get the text equals await clone.text. And then we're going to count, and I've got a function I prepared here earlier that will actually count the curlies for me. So const count equals count open braces. We pass in text, and I'm going to log that now. So context.log.info count. Actually, I like to do this trick where I put it in braces. That gives me a little label in my debug logs. It's a cool advanced trick there. And then what we're going to do is say quota inbound policy. And if you right click on this, it'll give me the option, if I get the name right, or press command dot, to add the quota inbound policy to it, the imports. There you go, just added it for me. That's handy. And we're going to call dot set meters, pass in the context, and then set the meters. And in this case, we're going to set curly braces is count. So that's going to increment by that count. That is our policy. Let's go over here. Let's add it to the outbound flow as a custom policy called count curlies. I'm going to remove the options. There were no options required for that custom code. Let's give this a better name though. You should always have a good name on your policies. Count curlies. Click OK. I'm going to save those. And now I should be allowed to make a request at least once, I think. I can't remember how many curlies are in a standard response from echo.zuplo.io. Let's take a look. So logs 5, 3. So it's going to take me a long time in this demo to hit 100. So I'm going to go and change that policy a second here. To hit 250, I'm going to make it 9, okay? So we'll save that. So I think we should get 2 more requests and then we should get quota limited on curly braces. Let's take a look. Too many requests, exceeded meter, curly braces. This thing is way more programmable. You can dynamically set the anchor date. If you have a subscription system you want to integrate this to, you can dynamically set everything about it. So go give it a try. Quotas are finally here as a first-class citizen in Zuplo. We should have done this ages ago.